Venezia Milan 0-2 for the Rossoneri. Yoo-hoo! Another victory. I want to start right away with a question. Do you keep Sergio Conceição next season? That now looks like he found a good lineup, a good formation. Do you keep it for next year? Yes or no? Let me know down in the comments. Anyway, I will let you know my personal thought at the end of the video. Plus, I want to analyze the words of Moncada, because Geoffrey Moncada spoke before the match against Venezia. Some of the words that they came out from this guy that only talks when Milan is shining, for the rest of the season is just hiding. Guess why? But let's talk about the match first, okay? So, as I mentioned, Milan with Conceição seems to have found a good lineup that gives him more balance. More than everything, it is balance, because this team, it is a team that has to play with countering attack. We understood it. Every time we're trying to push the other teams, see, for example, the match against Atalanta, they are very, very organized, they do a counter-attack, and they score a goal. This is not the Milan, the old-school Milan, where Milan used to be owning the match 100%. This is not that Milan. So Milan now, for the player that we have and for the structure that we have to be a little bit more concrete, a little bit more defensive, a little bit conceding less goal, and go ahead with a counter-attack. And that is what Sergio Conceição should have done in the moment that saw that the things was not going in the right direction in, January, February. He should have changed it. Instead, he kept the same lineup, this always 4-2-3-1 that we understood already with Pioli that we were conceding way too many goals. So why you keep the same lineup? Why you keep constantly Theo Hernandez on the left? You understand that it's not a pure defender. He's actually more a midfielder and a striker than a defender. Now, play with the same lineup that we play in the derby with three defenders, Tomori, Pavlovic and Gabbia, Fofana and TG, Pulisic, Rafa, Theo, Fofana, TG Reijnders, Gimenez, Pulisic, Abraham, because Jovic get injured before, and on the left wing, of course, the Portuguese Rafa Leao. The match went, it was not super easy to watch. In my opinion, I didn't really enjoy, and probably for some reason against Inter, when you score a goal in the first half and one right away after 2 minutes in the second half, the match seems like already in a certain way. Meanwhile, if you concede a goal, if you score a goal in the first half, in the first few minutes, and then you pretty much drag all these results until the end. I'm not saying that there is there is a suffering there, but not that I care about the final result, because the season, it is gone, and the only thing that we care, ladies and gentlemen, is the maglia. But we could have, let's say, score a goal before the minutes 96 to completely shut down the match, right? In my opinion, that's what we could have done. The team sometimes looks tired, sometimes looks like the problems are the same problem that we had before in the previous formation, in the previous lineup. Fofana losing a lot of balls, the counter-attack always having some little, like the last pass problem. I don't know, it always seems like they look also tired, in my opinion. But I know that it's strange to play at 12:30 here in Central European time, because 12:30 we never play literally at 12:30. We always play like 6 p.m., 9 p.m. So it could have an impact on the player for sure, but still you're playing against Venezia. Okay, that is a team that doesn't want to go in Serie B. They are trying with Di Francesco, but still what I saw today from Venezia, even though they were sometimes pushing, yes, they were they were okay, in my opinion. They were not beside the goal that they disallowed for outside. How many shots they had? Let me see. Lineup statistic. Big chances of Venezia 0. Total shots 15 against 12. Yeah, it doesn't tell me how many shots actually in the goal, but yeah, there was also, in my opinion, a penalty not given to Milan with Pavlovic when he shot, and the hands was way far detached from the body in a way to enlarge the figure of the player. So it was like, yeah, you shot and you hit the hands, and that's when it's a safe, with the hands. So it should have been penalty, but the VR cannot enter in. They cannot intervene unless the ref say it is a penalty. Then they can review it and then intervene. Otherwise, they can't. Anyway, VR is so weird. Anyway, overall, in my opinion, the best player tonight, it was Christian Pulisic. Christian Pulisic that played an incredible season with 16 goals in the season, his best season ever. Last season, I said, seeing this Christian Pulisic, I was like, it's gonna be tough for him, seeing how many injury and how much trouble he had in the past season. It's gonna be hard to do another season like this, and even better. You see, for example, what's happened with Loftus-Cheek. Okay. I think, guys, I'm gonna try to do a bet, but I think Pulisic can reach the 20 goal season. That will be incredible in Serie A. So I think in Serie A, in the whole competition, sorry, whatever is left now in Serie A, but I think he can do 4 goals in the next 4 matches. I think he can do it. I feel like I want to believe in him. Yeah. I think he can do it. Somebody that I don't know what to expect anymore. Honestly, it is Santiago Gimenez, the Mexican. Yes, happy for the goal, great movement. He's coming from the first few months in Milan that is not reflecting the 30 million that we spent for a striker. Completely out of any kind of movement of the team, completely out of, in my opinion, a little bit also on a shape. I am disappointed. Are we expecting more from Santiago, also a little bit more of grinta, and definitely goals. I know for a striker, the most important thing is to score goals. So he has to score goals. I truly believe that this lineup, to leave him alone as a striker, is not the right lineup for him. He has to be like a second striker. However, if you're good, if you're top, you score goal anyway. So I don't expect, as I said when we bought him in January, I'm not expecting anything from the first half season in Milan. I will be so happy that I say that if he can score 10 goals, is what now? In Campionato probably is at 2, and Coppa Italia he scored 1 as far as I can remember. He still have 4 matches to go, or 3, 4 matches to go. We will see if he can actually do it. We will see. For the rest of the team, it looks quite balanced, with Fofana losing some balls, as always, with TG, good counter-attack, good to see back Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Walker. For the rest, as always, the leadership behind, I like it with Mike, Tomori, Pavlovic. I think the future has to be with 3 defenders, for sure. To talk a little bit about, and to answer the question, do Ola Rossonero would like to keep CONCECAO at the end of the season, I want to start, first of all, with the words of Moncada. Because before the match, Moncada had the balls to say, we are not satisfied with our position in Serie A. We are not happy. Winning trophy is important for us, for a club like Milan. We want to win the Coppa Italia, our only chance to qualify in Europe. Now, we are not happy with the season, with Serie A. Definitely we are not. We're not very happy. Yeah. Of course, he wants to be qualified in Europe because with money will come in the safe of Jerry Cardinale, Scaroni, and all his friends. In my opinion, this Milan doesn't deserve that. We already had 2 trophies this year. Trophies number 1, the Supercoppa Italiana. Trophies number 2, winning not losing against Inter all season. I think we're pretty happy. Do you want the Coppa Italia? Of course I want to have the Coppa Italia, but I want for the team, for the players, and for us, not for them. So it's a kind of bittersweet for me. We are very happy. The coach has worked a lot over these 3 months. He brought an important methodology and intensity to Milanello. Bro, I don't know. I don't really think so. I think he brought it to Milanello, but not in San Siro. Because if Milan is 9th and is one of the worst results in the last 10 years, and CONCECAO, it is by numbers one of the worst coach in Milan history. He got one of the lowest percentage of points compared even to Giampaolo and to Fonseca. Why do we want to keep this guy? Why? We need a restructure. That's why there is a dark side in me that, you know, not winning the Coppa Italia means everything has to change. Everything has to change. The illusion of winning 3-0 against Inter is just an illusion. It's just smoke in your eyes. This team is shit. This team is horrible. It's not a team. It's a group of single players. CONCECAO didn't create anything there. CONCECAO pretty much poured gas over fire that was already in the half season. There is no way that I want to keep CONCECAO. Hell no. Milan play well? No. Milan play horrible. Milan plays horrible. Milan doesn't deserve to go to Europe. Milan absolutely play horrible, and it does not to be. This is not the right way for Milan. I don't want him. Because what's going to happen if you keep him and then in November we are still in the same position, I'm going to laugh. I'm going to say, well, he had a hell of a team and look where we are right now. We need to restructure. Sport director is going to choose the coach. That's it. The new sport director has to choose the coach. We have a structure. We are AC Milan. There are people working behind the scene. We are thinking about a sport director to help develop the club, to take another step forward. But we have already a strong structure and organization. It's not true. It's not true. Why are you lying? It's not true. You don't have a strong structure and organization. Who is doing the mercato? Who's choosing the coach? What's the role of Ibrahimovic? What's the role? What's Scaroni in all this? There is no structure there. There is no. You guys are not a team. They're a single player. They're looking after your own interests, like Scaroni for the San Siro, like Cardinale for selling more tickets and merchandising. Like this guy when they... Silenzio. Don't let me talk too much. Jovic contract. I love Jovic. Thanks God he helped us to win the derby. Is he a AC Milan player? Is he? Is that the level of the million that I have in my hand? No. He showed up he showed up for a match, guys. But for the rest of the season, he was not even... He never did anything for the rest of the season. Why you want to renew the contract of this guy? No. You don't fool me now. You don't fool me for this. You don't fool me now. We saw all the season, and fans like us have to have the memory and the honesty and the honest to realize that this is just smoke in our eyes. The team has been horrible all season. We're not even qualifying for Champions League. We are Fiorentina, Atalanta, Bologna, Juventus, Napoli, Inter, Roma and Lazio. They walked over us. That's all for the moment, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure that the Moncada, the Scaroni, the Ibrahimovic, somebody will talk in this week. And when he's going to be talking, we are going to have to realize and to do some comments and analysis over those words. Alrighty. Next match is going to be against Genoa. It's good. It's going to be important to give consistency. Not for the result, not for anything, but then we're going to have the Bologna, and that's the only thing that we got left this season. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Ciao.